Okay, I'd like to call this meeting to order, please. Um, and it is my understanding that what we're going to do here tonight is listen to the three entities that have submitted proposals. I'm going to call them proposals rather than bids, relative to the third-party administrator. Um, do we have any kind of order, Mona? Who goes first? Who goes second? And who goes third? Okay. In that case, we will open the floor to Taylor and Sons. Did we give them a time frame, Mona? Like, all right. Push the button there. It should turn green.
Perfect. Good instructions. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Nice to be here. We really appreciate the opportunity to respond again to the information request. We've got some exciting information for you. That was a little bit of a joke. We're talking about insurance here. But it also is important. We represent Taylor and Sons. We're an employee benefits and education outfit. Enrollment Services and Benefit Administration. Let me start off with some introductions. Becky Johnson is our agency operations manager and senior account manager, and she was instrumental in helping put together our response. Blaze Freeman is our local agency affiliate partner. Trevor Gardner is our executive vice president. He's not here tonight, but he was a part of putting the whole response together. And my name is Kevin Thompson. I'm vice president of agency development for the agency itself. As far as Taylor & Sons is concerned, you may have heard about us through LASBO or some other places, but essentially we're a full-service benefits brokerage firm. We specialize in plan consultation, administration, enrollment communication, and billing reconciliation that provides a comprehensive, effective benefit platform for our clients and their employees. There's a lot going on there, but we're going to get into the meat of that now. What makes us stand out? First of all, we've got a proven track record serving Louisiana schools. We've been around since 1958. We provide benefits to over 25,000 Louisiana school employees. We provide live customer service. When you call our office, someone answers the phone. It's not press 1 for this, 2 for that. You know, one of our customer service team answers the phone. They can actually respond almost immediately to the situation because they've got all the information in the system right in front of them. So as soon as the person calling identifies himself, it's triaged immediately right then and there. Everything we do is a commitment to building long-term relationships with our clients and with the employees. We provide customized, innovative solutions. We're very, very supportive of the industries that support the schools. Decades of support and participation with LASBO, LSBA, LACE, and LAS. And again, if any of you have been to LASBO, you know what we do with there and some of the other ones. Also, retired Louisiana public school employees on our team. We've got Becky's a former teacher. She was Teacher of the Year, actually, on at least one occasion I know, but she taught in Tangi. We've got a former CFO on our staff, business manager, and also a former superintendent on our staff as well. So we know school districts, and we have people on our team that know school districts. Our commitment to the Lafayette Parish school system. Serve as an independent broker for you. We work for you. We don't work for the insurance companies. We work for you. We can design a benefits menu tailored to your district. Because we're not an insurance company, we can deliver best-in-class carriers, plans, and rates available. We're going to build an effective employee education engagement process, which is designed to help employees make good decisions to provide financial security for them and their family members. Okay? Assist and support the ongoing benefit through compliance, simplify benefits administration and premium remittance, and then create and build a long-term relationship that serves both the district and the employees. As part of our customer service focus, specifically for this case, we're proposing an on-site Taylor & Sons employee to actually be located in the central office here, if that's the desire of the district, or actually be located in our affiliate partner's office right down the street. So that would be a full-time employee on our payroll that's 100% committed to the Lafayette Parish school system every day. That's all that person will do, okay? We have a local office located here, 140 Rue Burgard. I probably didn't pronounce that correctly. Suite C. That's my Boston roots coming out. That's what home is. The local employee, the benefit advocate and support that person will provide, claims, triage assistance, coverage questions and support, qualifying event processing, any demographic changes, all the things that happen on a day-to-day basis from a customer service standpoint, from the employee perspective, as well as administratively with all the things that go on inside the central office and the moving pieces attached to the Voluntary Benefits Administration. The account service team, you'll have a dedicated account manager, a dedicated account billing clerk, and a dedicated customer service representative. Best-in-class products. You know, all the service and everything that go there are great, but at the end of the day, there's a menu of voluntary benefits that you and the rest of the employees will have access to. It's very important that those benefits be the best available, right? And there's a lot of various factors that go into that. Taylor & Sons, as an independent broker and 58 years worth of experience and a successful and proven track record, is a very unique position to negotiate favorable terms with any carrier out there. They want to talk to us about being able to create benefits that are priced correctly, underwritten correctly for the educator marketplace because of our track record. So significant carrier negotiation we've got some leverage in that conversation. Employee education engagement. This is, for over 50 years, we've learned the employers that spend time and resources towards helping employees be educated about what their options are and helping them make good choices, it's a better work environment. It's a better situation for the employees, and the statistics play out. This is a survey that MetLife did back in 2018. It's pretty self-explanatory. When communications are ineffective, you can see the low numbers when it comes to satisfied with benefits, etc. But when communications are effective, they're much, much higher, which ends up creating a situation where in most situations people are going to have a good day. Let me show you how we get there. Employee education and engagement. The people that we utilize in our benefits counselor role are not commissioned. They are not trying to win a trip to Hawaii. They're not trying to win any trips at all. They are non-commissioned salespeople that work for us in our cases, and they represent us. Their primary mission is to provide a holistic communication experience for that employee. They're not selling insurance. They're designed to ask questions of the employee, find more about their situation, and help them understand what their options are, and then make good decisions on what's right for them and their family. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. So the education-based communication is designed to encourage smart spending and plan usage of the selected benefits. So smart spending is where it starts, but also helping them understand how to file a claim, what process they need to go through in the event that they may need the coverage that they're purchasing. Okay? We measure this with employees' increased awareness and enrollment experience. We do that with some surveys that we'll talk about in a minute. Ultimately, it ends up being meaningful enrollment meetings during open enrollment, but also for all the new hires, because that same process is followed for the new hires throughout the year. Okay? Now, enrollment education management, we're going to provide account-specific benefit counselor training and education, so the benefits counselors will be trained specifically for the nuances of this particular case, because what you're doing here is different from what might be happening in another district. Okay? So they'll be trained for here. A strategic enrollment benefit communication messaging and delivery strategy will be worked out in conjunction with the central office. Presentation generation and fulfillment, multimedia approach. I don't have my cell phone with me, I left it in the car, but how many people have cell phones now? Everybody, right? So they're all looking at that for information. So we push a lot of information out through videos, through surveys, all that can be accessed through computers and through phones and iPads and all kinds of stuff. Or they can do it the old-fashioned way at a group meeting with a PowerPoint presentation. So we typically multiple points of format, and then of course there's also printed material available as well, in terms of giving every employee access to the information they need to learn more about what their benefit options are. So we help create the benefit booklet and creation design. We post it on the web. Benefit election decision support and education-based approach towards meeting with the employees. We will provide the opportunity for the employees to complete a survey about their experience during the enrollment. We can take that feedback, come back, meet with central office, make adjustments or learn on what we might be able to improve on or add in for the next year. And then, of course, support for the new hires with a similar type presentation, so that the new hire conversations, every new hire is getting the same information the same way. So it's very consistent, okay? And that can include, if desired, all the medical information as well. So that is totally customizable and can be built to whatever message the district wants to communicate to the employees. We will also provide an online benefit portal. It's 24/7, 365 access for the employees. They can go there, totally customizable. We can add in all kinds of information, not just about the voluntary benefits, about any other information the district might want out there. Open enrollment messaging. There's a video link. Typically we'll create a video. People can watch it. It's 10 or 15 minutes long. It's going to be all about preparing for the upcoming enrollment. We also have an open enrollment and call center appointment scheduler. And essentially, what I'm going to talk about in a minute, but essentially it gives the employee an opportunity to actually sign up for the time they want to meet with the benefits counselor. And when they do that, they're going to get an email verifying that they signed up for that time. Okay, we're going to talk about that in a minute. But that will be available through this benefits portal we'll build. Benefits communication information will be out there, as well as plan document access. All carrier forms would be there, contact information. It is also the point of contact for the employees if they want to self-enroll in the benefits. Okay? This is the online schedule I was talking about, an example of it. So prior to the enrollment, obviously we've worked very closely. There's a schedule built. We know which days we're going to be at which schools, how many benefits counselors are going to be at each school. So we're going to know that up front. So about 2 weeks or so, week and a half prior to that date for that school, the employees will be able to go online and see this scheduler. And they might want to say, you know what, I want to meet with a benefits counselor at 8:40 a.m. And they'll click on that and put their name in, and the system captures it. And if you look at the box here, so the employee selects a time and enters their name, email address, and phone number. The system then sends a confirmation email to the employee that they can put right in their calendar. Okay? Also, 24 hours before that scheduled appointment, they get another email reminding them that they've got their meeting tomorrow. Okay? Also, the account manager that's assigned to the case, at the end of every business day, will be contacting the school to let them know what the schedule is for the next day. So it professionalizes and streamlines that enrollment process. Okay? And go back to the second check mark. That survey we talked about, they can also access the survey through the scheduler as well. Okay? And this is just some results from some of the surveys we've done with some of the other school districts. The questions that we ask are very simple. They're totally customizable. Typically, we only do 3 or 4 questions at most. It's not a 20-minute survey. It's designed to catch their feelings about their interaction with the employee, and about the information that they got. But if the district had something else they wanted to promote or ask about, we could absolutely build that into the system with no problem. Totally customizable. The enrollment system itself, the ABA Excel benefit system, captures and transmits all the transactions. Okay? So it manages all the plan elections and provides ongoing benefit administration. It's actually the backbone and the single entry point for all the billing services, plan administration, and customer services department. System highlights include it's very flexible, its ability to capture elections for all carrier plan options, its built-in communication platform, has a document file cabinet which includes all the any documents we want to save, real-time comparison of current elections versus future elections, simple, its intuitive design is easy for people to use. It also provides standard and customized report features for EDA files and payroll deduction reports. Okay. When I talked earlier about the customer service, when that phone rings in our office, all the information is right here. So when that phone rings and one of our customer service people answer it, that person identifies who they are, we'd immediately have all their information. So we know who they've got for coverage, who their dependents are, who the beneficiaries are. We can immediately provide them with whatever help they need. As far as the enrollment system concerns, it's the exact same enrollment system. There may be, one-on-one enrollments to begin with, which is the typical face-to-face I think everyone's familiar with. But we also have a call center option. If someone wants to prefer to call in, they can use that schedule, set up a time, call in, and they can have an interaction over the phone. It can be a co-browsing session if the person wants it, or they can do self-enroll. If someone's had enough of meeting with an insurance agent, they've got everything they think they need, they can self-enroll. Go right through the benefits portal, done. Okay? And that can vary from year to year. So it may not have to be all three in first year, or however the district needs to build that option. Bottom line is the employees are going to have multiple ways to access the enrollment experience that they choose to access. Okay? Benefit confirmation statements, all employees sign off on their product election, beneficiaries, and dependent info. This provides employees with knowledge of their elections and planned deductions, and provides the district with confirmation and a record for future reference when needed. The proprietary system allows for multiple quick and easy enrollment solutions that are simple, efficient, and secure. System reports and data transfers. Some of this, you're starting into the weeds, but this is really what kind of drives the success of these types of programs, right? Because the employees have the interaction, they make thousands and thousands of decisions that ultimately translate to transactions. Well, those transactions are all managed by Mona and the other people in the central office. So the system is critical from that perspective, okay? So the system is going to carrier eligibility, EDI files, considerable flexibility with file formats and types, data flows directly to the carriers, initial and ongoing eligibility changes are all captured with one single point of entry, okay? Payroll system EDI, file specifications are customized, allow for bi-directional data to interface with the Alio payroll platform, secure initial and ongoing elections, changes file delivery through SFTP, and flexible with regards to timing and method. So basically what all that means is we can customize the administrative experience based on what the needs of the central office are. And it communicates directly with the Alio system and communicates directly with the carriers. Okay? There's also an administrative portal. So if someone in the central office wants to get in and do some administration relative to the voluntary benefits, they can get access to that. They can look at all the information. They can make different changes. They can go look at someone's signed confirmation statement. They can confirm when they enrolled, what they enrolled in. All of that information is available from a plan administrator standpoint. Flexible spending accounts. I think you're all familiar with the cafeteria plan. You got the dependent care flex spending account, the medical FSA flex spending account. Flex Made Easy is our company. That's who we use to administer all the accounts. There's no fees for any of this. Again, cell phones are huge. People can access their accounts online. We send out text alerts to people sometimes based on their account balances. Very, very user-friendly. There's a card involved. It's tremendous. It works very, very well. Very user-friendly. Billing premium reconciliation. So at the end of the day, you've got your benefits menu, and it's got 5 or 6 different insurance companies there, right? And you've got all these employees that have enrolled in whatever they've enrolled in. Well, what that ends up doing is that generates an invoice. So the insurance company wants to be able to collect their premiums. The premiums are deducted from payroll deduction. Some are pre-tax, some are post-tax, and they're deducted. Well, every month or some frequency, that insurance company is providing an invoice to the district, and the district is responsible for sending that premium that's deducted from your check to the insurance carrier, okay? Well, if there's no billing or reconciliation process in place, that has to be done for each carrier individually, okay? So there's, what I'm talking about. There's reconciliation process. Bottom line is, we do all that. We handle all the billing and all the reconciliation. The only thing we're going to talk about is the discrepancies, the things that don't match. So we capture all it, get that information. It comes in. It's all done through a secure environment, multiple payroll and billing modals. Doesn't matter if you've got some monthly, some bi-monthly, doesn't matter. Multiple carrier billing requirements for retroactivity, premium tolerance, grace periods. So that's when the relationships with the carriers come into play, because sometimes the carriers want their premium yesterday, and it may not be there till tomorrow. So nobody's coverage is going to lapse. There's going to be conversations relative to all that. Supports multiple plan types. So we provide a consolidated bill to the district, so it's one invoice coming to the district. They pay one bill. Then we reconcile it, okay? Employment can be done through a self-bill process as well, or a carrier list bill. There's also alternative billing arrangements, and there's also an ACH bank draft option. So multiple ways to simplify that administrative process to be about as simple as you can make it. okay? Processing times, you heard me talk about that a little bit. As a licensed TPA, we're beholden to both you and our carrier partners with requirements of delivering timely and accurate submissions of the premiums. For the insurance contributions, typically it's 3 to 5 business days and they're gone, and usually it's 3. They're gone to the carrier, okay? Flexible spending accounts, typically that day or the next day. They're available right away, okay? And I know we're not talking about it here, but we can also process retirement contributions 2 to 3 business days there. Okay, just to kind of wrap up, a little extra lanyard. So the cafeteria plan, flexible spending account administration and compliance, that's all included. Enrollment services that help employees make sound financial decisions based on their needs, not the needs of the enroller winning a trip. Capture and cleanse employee independent demographic data. So when we meet with an employee and they've gotten married or they've moved, we can capture that data in the system and provide the district with updated information relative to that new data. We can increase and improve benefit administration efficiency, the common remitter billing and reconciliation services, COBRA administration service support. Also, as a reminder, we do propose putting a full-time employee in-house here or in Blaze's office right down the street. That'll be focused full-time on the school board here. And then everything we're doing is based on building a long-term partnership with the district. Okay? That's all I've got. I'm not sure how close we are to the 20 minutes, but I wanted to get all that out there. Blaze, we're here for questions, comments. Any feedback would be welcome.
No questions? Thank you very much. I'm sorry, Mr. Centeni.
Forgive my ignorance in a couple of these questions.
That's okay.
How many employees do you have
We have
locally?
about 60.
60. And those are, I've learned recently to phrase my questions. Those are W-2 employees?
Yes.
Okay, 60 W-2 employees. And the other question I have is, what part of all of this is handled by your local office, and what part do you contract out? I don't have your RFP here.
The only
in
thing
front of me.
contracted out would be the COBRA.
COBRA is the only thing that's
The only thing-
contracted.
Everything else is in-house.
Everything is in-house? Okay. And how are your costs paid for COBRA?
We pay it,
You pay?
yes.
Okay.
There's no fees to the district for anything we're talking about.
That is all I have. Thank you.
I do have, Blaze had a couple of comments.
It's good to see you guys. Seems like we were not so long ago having some of these same conversations, so it's good to see you again. From first time when last year we met, I had learned that there was some, and it's all relative to what lens you're looking through, but some of the main takeaways I got from that was you guys wanted somebody with experience, someone who could provide best-in-class service, great products for the employees to participate in. The technology piece was big on how we capture, thousands of people's data, and also local representation. Firm Group Agency, which is my agency, and the partnership with Taylor & Sons, we guarantee that solves all of the pieces of this puzzle, and no matter which lens you look through, that would be the best solution for you guys. So thank you for your time, and thank you for hearing us out.
Before you leave, I think Ms. Mounts had her hand up. Ms. Mounts?
If you could address two issues, one, data security,
Yeah.
and secondly, the survey that seems to focus on enrollment. There's more of this, and the employees are concerned about claims being paid. Can that survey be used for example, if the employee insurance committee were trying to assess the satisfaction that employees have with their service? That would include areas other than enrollment, which is what.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's totally customizable. So we can do that. Typically, we do those surveys right at the end of the enrollment, or, at the end of their enrollment experience. But those surveys can be conducted anytime during the year, and they can have any focus, whatever you feel like the information you want to bring. And it doesn't even need to be related to insurance. We would have access to that service for anything you want to do as well. Relative to security, in the RFP response is actually a whole bunch of pages on all the secure things that they go through, and it's a lot. There are duplicate servers located all over the country that back up this information. It's very, very secure. I don't know the details of all that. I don't know anything about that. But I do know that we have, we're in the business of providing secure environments. There's no expense there. and making sure that we provide it as secure as possible. Any other questions?
Yes.
Oh, question.
You mentioned you had a former business manager on staff. Who is that?
Ron Caruso. Any other questions? No? Okay, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the summer.
Thank you both.
Mona, you said that Dwight Andrus was next? Okay.
Good evening. I'm Charlie Babineau, Vice President of Dwight Andrus Insurance. With us tonight, we have Dwight Andrus IV. He's President of Dwight Andrus Insurance, and Mr. Chris Bailey and Miss Luanna Landry. With your blessing, they'll be the employee benefits consultants to the Lafayette Parish School Board. We're all proud residents of the Lafayette Parish School System. We'd like to thank the Board Insurance Committee, everybody else on the board, everybody that works hard for the school board, and also the Employee Insurance Committee. We appreciate all that you do, and we appreciate the opportunity to present tonight. And really what we like to do is take a little time for you guys to learn a little bit more about our 74-year-old, local, independently owned insurance agency. Our agency is owned solely by the Andrus family that has been such a big part of the Lafayette community. We've come here tonight to let you know that we feel like our organization's interests are aligned, and why we feel like we're the right fit to handle the voluntary benefits for the Lafayette Parish school system. At this point, we realize we're behind on the scorecard. We understand that. It's the first time you get to know us. Not a problem. We don't expect to be first place if you don't know us. We also understand that a recommendation has been made, not a decision. So we're very, very happy for that, and we appreciate the opportunity. It will be our job tonight to give you impactful, fresh ideas, and to present our plan with complete transparency, to bring formality, structure, and pride to the process that has been mentioned all too often, dating back to September 2018. As Thomas Fuller has been quoted, all things are difficult before they are easy. And I'll say it again. All things are difficult before they are easy. In reviewing the videos of previous meetings, this has been a difficult process. We feel like the reason for the RFP is to ultimately bring a sense of ease to each of you, the group making this decision, and most important, to the employees of the Lafayette Parish school system. The perception of change is it's never seamless and typically disruptive. With that being said, we feel like if you have the right partner that puts the interests of your employees, who are our friends, our neighbors, our community heroes, and molders of our future employees, first and foremost, then change can lead to a comfortable long-term solution that can void the current struggles of the process. It has been mentioned and portrayed that all companies do the same thing, that these presentations are a bit of a popularity contest with a race for political influence. Tonight we're here to inform you that Dwight Andrus Insurance, with corporate headquarters located right here in Lafayette on Dover Boulevard, is ready to deliver on the RFP that we turned in. Over our 74 years of existence, we've been able to accumulate over 84 of the best insurance minds in our school systems district to write, service, and retain clients. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to two of the best talents, not only in our area, but our industry, to run through the details of our proposal. Mr. Chris Bailey and Ms. Luanna Landry.
Thank you, Charlie. And thank you guys for having us here today. I'm going to give you, a quick layout of the landscape as far as this is concerned. I know you've heard from a lot of people, but I want to give you the marketplace from my eyes, kind of how I see it. So Luanna Landry and I are both benefits consultants, and we split pretty much everything we do. So if you hire us, you have us on your account jointly. We have a team that works for us. You have them as well. In this situation, we're partnering with MGM, so you have them as well. So you have plenty of people to handle the job. But what we typically do is we are benefit consultants for your entire benefit plan. This is a little different, and I know why you're at where you're at. I have some recommendations as to how you should move that forward, but we rarely get into this space where we're just doing voluntary and enrollment, because most people don't split it up this way, and there's a reason for that, right? So I would like to ask this question. It's a bit rhetorical, but why do you offer these benefits to your employees? A typical answer to that question is, retention, recruitment. Those are all the responses you get for that. But are you really getting the bang for your buck there? As a citizen of the community, I know public entity has the best benefits, but when I say that, it's basically medical. I'm talking about medical. They pay more. They have lower deductibles. That's usually the response you'll get from anybody. But are you really going out there and going through all this trouble for a voluntary program for what? I mean, it seems like you're getting a lot of headaches out of that. I think the guys that are in place today are doing a good job from what I hear. So maybe you fix that, but ultimately I think that's where you need to get. You need to get to a good cohesive benefit package that your employees appreciate. So that's and I would take that with you through whatever you guys are doing. So the Office of Group Benefits started a program for state employees about 50 years ago, so in the 70s. And what they did was offered that to all state employees. You could be in this risk pool, and we would handle your health and your medical and your life insurance. So all the school boards were offered that program as well. So most of the school boards jumped into that program and said, okay, you guys got it. We'll just send you every month. We'll send you our premium, and we're good. So the one thing that the state didn't cover was voluntary benefits, or dental, vision, life, all sup life, disability, accidents, critical illness. So it created this need in the market for 80 different prospects or clients to support them in a voluntary program. So over the years, what you saw was a bunch of different little businesses, broker agencies pop up to handle this need, right? So in Louisiana, what we see from time to time still is, a couple companies that do that specifically and tailored to your RFP, just school system. This is all we do for a living. But for 50 years, it's been a great opportunity, but we've moved past that. So for the past 20 years, we're raising deductibles, we're raising out of pockets, we're cost shifting, right? So the need to sell a critical illness or an accident plan or a disability in conjunction with an HSA is higher than it's ever been before. So I would venture to say that what you need to do and concentrate on now is addressing an employee's or a member's needs holistically. So if I'm going to sell you an HSA plan, at the same time, I need something to supplement that deductible. I need to advise you to save, right? So all that being said, I understand where you're at today. I think the path forward is to consolidate these enrollments and to have a very consultative engagement with an employee on a new hire basis as well as an annual basis for open enrollment. But the proposal at hand today is voluntary benefits, right? Voluntary and enrollment. So, we put together a bid that we believe is solid, based on, what we can do here locally, based on the experience of our partner. And what I'd like to do, though, is explain a little bit to you guys as to how this works, right? So we're all up here saying it doesn't cost anything. This costs a lot of money. For me to go out and do this job next year for you guys, it's going to cost me probably $300,000. So, and I have absolutely no idea how much money we're going to make. So basically, and I've asked the question, how much, just to estimate, so how many people are enrolled in each product? At least I could estimate it. I don't know. Plus, the way this traditionally works is when you flip insurance carriers, so you had insurance carriers with vendor A, you move to vendor B, you got new insurance carriers, all the revenue that was in those products was paid this year. So basically, I would walk into a situation next year where more than likely all the commissions have been paid, and I know my expense, but I don't know my revenue. So we've had this conversation internally. Our organization wants to partner with this school system because we're here. We're friends, we're local, we're family. We are taking the risk. This proposal puts us at risk, you know? So I just want to emphasize that we're here, we have a good product on the table. Luana Landry, you know, my partner, she's going to go through the specifics of what that looks like, but I just want to kind of, you know, hit high level what we're dealing with here and how the market looks. I appreciate you guys, your time.
So we have a highlight sheet of the proposal that Chris is handing out now. So one of the things Chris talked about when we talk about giving, offering employees that holistic approach is the medical or the health plan enrollment. We understand we're not the broker of record, and this is not part of the RFP for the health plan. But what we are offering is to handle your health insurance enrollment, plan enrollment as well. It does not impact what is in place on your health plan, does not impact who your current agent of record is, but what it does is it brings a better solution to your employees. At the time of open enrollment or a new hire, we're able to sit down and go through all of their benefits with them. Walk them through, here is your health and you have this HSA plan. Let's make sure that when you purchase that critical illness, it's compliant and that you have the insurance that you need for you and your family. It also helps us in making sure that when we're doing the flex spending account, that we're making sure that it's compliant. Someone can't be enrolled in a health flex account if they're in an HSA account. So it just helps us to make sure that you're compliant and then help your employees to make sure that their entire insurance needs are met. If you look at the front of the proposal or the packet, we talk about MGM, and I want to talk, that's our partner, it's our technology partner. I want to talk a little bit about why we chose them. Typically what we do, most companies do, is they get a license agreement to some platform, and then that is a generic platform that takes enrollment in and spits it out. MGM has been around for 40 years, and then they created the Benefits Hub, which was built around school systems and the complexity of that eligibility, especially when you're looking at the health. So for voluntary coverage, besides dental and vision, maybe a couple other things, most things are only offered to your active employees. Dental and vision may be offered to the retirees, but there's no Medicare involved. But when you start talking about health insurance enrollment, it's complex. You have retirees who's never paid into Medicare, you have retirees with Medicare, you have surviving spouses, you have retirees without Medicare, retirees that's returned to work, you have a list goes on and on and on. So the eligibility build out of that is pretty complex. So a lot of systems can't really accommodate that. When we were choosing a partner, we went through, vetted out several different companies that have all of the experience, but we wanted the one that had, they built this proprietary system built around school systems and can support that health insurance enrollment as well. So then we're able to offer that additional service to you guys. The Benefits Hub currently has 700 plus school systems across 15 states. There are also, we were talking about security earlier. I know you said they are SSAE 18 certified, which basically they have to go through, it's where a board of accountants, they have to approve where the security of the data and information, financial information that they are transferring to another company to become that certification. So your local team, and this is your core team. Of course, you have all of us that are here tonight. And then Chris and I will serve as the main consultants for the account. Being the lead, we manage every aspect of the account. And then underneath us in our office, we have several people that have different roles that they play to make sure that all of your services are met. We have Joe Bailey, who's a client service director. He's working on projects and different things that we do throughout the implementation and then ongoing. We have Melanie Hoffpower, who's the account manager. She's working directly with your administrative staff on all of your needs. We have Raven Taylor, who is our EBRC manager. And what is EBRC? It is our Employee Benefits Resource Center. So she's your employee. She manages all of the conversations and all of the communications coming in and out to your employees, both at open enrollment, new hire, and on throughout the year. Then we have Lacey Barker, who's our technology liaison. So she really works with our our technology partner, to make sure that everything's staying on track and is your direct contact for as far as that's concerned. So big piece of it is employee support, right? So there's really a couple different things. From a new hire standpoint, the way that we really like to handle that is to handle your benefits in orientation with your new hires. So there's several different ways we can do it. It's really up to you and what works best for you guys and what do you feel. Not all employees like the same things, so we try to hit them with a few different pieces of communication. Once we have actual video that goes into great detail, it's not the typical animated video that you see. It's really a high quality, thank you, high quality video that really walks them through about a 6-minute presentation of anything that you'd like to know. Again, we can go over what benefits are offered, but we can talk about other things too. Whatever you want to be included in that benefits orientation. We can do on-site, one-on-one, or group sessions. And then lastly, we can have telephonic, where they can actually call in and we can walk them through the enrollment process. Again, if we incorporate that medical, again, it's taken a huge, probably a burden off of the administrative staff, I would imagine today that the new hire format is pretty much where employees come in and the administration staff gives them an overview of the health benefits, gives them a stack of papers for them to fill out and return either via email or fax or in person to the administration staff. And then they're given a phone number to the voluntary company to say, okay, here, if you want any of these products, you're interested, contact them, or maybe they'll contact you, and they'll either enroll them through paper or through over the phone. Possibly they've rolled out self-service. What that does is the employee is then enrolling in this group and then this group, and again, if we can pull it all together and give them, it helps them to understand the complete listing of their benefits. We can, again, enroll them in person or telephonically or in the system or have self-service as well. After that, we also are able to produce actual benefit statements that walk them through, hey, this is exactly what you've enrolled in, this is what you can expect to see out of your check, and it includes the health, it includes the flex, and every other voluntary benefit that they've chosen to do or chosen to enroll in. Following the new hire, it's really the ongoing support. So you have employees that have questions with benefits. They have life event changes that they have questions on. I just had a kid. How do I enroll them? I'm getting into divorce. How do I take my spouse off? And then you also have employees that are going from active to retiree. And that's a transition too, that people need support to help, to understand what that transition from these benefit offerings are today and how does that change when I move into this new role or this new eligibility cycle. So really our EBRC, Employee Benefits Resource Center, is there to really help them from that. Again, it's all local. It's managed by Raven, but we have a team here in our Dwight Andrews office on Dover Boulevard that handles that. So we can do it over the phone. They can call. We can come up here and meet them. However, they can come to our office and meet with them. Really just giving them however they feel most comfortable. You know, there's a lot of times when an employee may have a life event change or is moving from active to spouse where they want their spouse involved to help them, or their daughter to help them through that transition. You know, benefits isn't always just an easy decision. You have to really think of you want to give the whole family the opportunity to decide what's best for them as a family. So if that's the case, then if they want, them and their spouse can come up to our office and we meet with them and help them however they need help with. And then lastly, open enrollment. So open enrollment, again, if we do the medical as well, we'll really start a campaign that goes out. We're sending postcards to the home to make sure, hey, it's coming up. They know it's a save the date. We also do the videos that we like to distribute the videos, and the videos that we do are really, they're tailored and produced for your message and your actual employee base. But we send those out, and there's a link that they can actually access from their phone. What's so good about this is, again, a lot of employees, active employees, their spouses offered something and they're offered something, and they're trying to compare to see which one they want to take and which one their spouse should take. So really that video helps them to be able to access that from their phone, and them to really go over that and look at whatever they have from their spouse and really make some decisions to gear them up and get them ready, or even give them the questions to ask at that meeting when they come for that one-on-one. So we'll have one-on-one counselors that we'll offer to all employees. It's not any enrollers that are commission-based or have any incentive to enroll. They're not paid per app or any commissions. It's our employees that are sitting there helping they've been talking to them at the new hire standpoint. They've talked to them throughout the year when they had that life event change, and so they're familiar with them, they're comfortable with them, and they're going to walk them through that open enrollment process as well to help them figure out what's best for their family. Lastly is a little bit more on that technology. Of course, it has all of the enrollment functions. It does the EDI feeds to all of the carriers. It has customized to payroll files. It also does the consolidated billing, has an FTP site, and then the employee surveys and the confirmation statements that can all come through there. On the surveys, there is, and I think you may have mentioned it earlier, but one thing that we like to do with the surveys is take it a little bit step further. And what we really like to do is try to do a survey beforehand, too. Because there's a part of this that goes way before open enrollment. We've marketed the plans to see what plans are best to offer, done an evaluation of your current. Do we need to offer, does everyone want pet insurance? Do we need to offer that? Or is the disability plan not doing what it needs to do? So really getting that survey out in front and saying, what do you expect from your benefits? Beyond that enrollment, what things do you need more education on? What type of benefits do you want to see us introduce? What's the most important benefit to you? And just it helps us to make sure that we're putting a package together for your employees, and then also helping us to be able to prepare for those one-on-one sessions or any communication pieces that we put out as far as the employee benefits guide and all of that, to really address maybe some of their questions or concerns in there beforehand. And with that being said, I'll go ahead and let Dwight Andrus, our president, just kind of tell us a little bit more about Dwight Andrus and close up for us.
Good evening. I think we're right at the 20-minute mark, so I'll try to keep it quick. But I do want to give a few pieces of information on the background of Dwight Andrus. I'm Dwight Andrus IV, president of our firm. Excuse me. We are a fourth-generation, locally owned independent insurance agency, founded by my great-grandfather, Dwight Andrus Sr., in 1945. We have steadily grown over the years to be one of the largest independent agencies in the state, with a current staff of over 100, 85 of which I believe reside in Lafayette Parish. Our company has consistently demonstrated a strong commitment to Lafayette Parish, its businesses, and its residents. We have deep experience in handling everything from small, local businesses to large international risks with thousands of employees. Over the years, we have built a very capable employee benefits team to handle our clients' needs. Our employee benefits division is on the cutting edge of technology, resources, and data capabilities, which positions us well to bring the most value to the Lafayette Parish school system. We want to be your broker of record and have the opportunity to prove to you, as we have to many others in Lafayette over the past 3/4 of a century, that we are the Italian-made sports car capable of over 200 miles per hour, as referenced by Mr. Knizak in the, I believe it was the September or October board meeting last year. But on a more serious note, we do what's required and exceed expectations, which I think is a substantial equivalent. Dwight Andrus Insurance has passionately served the Lafayette community through many ups and downs. We've conducted business responsibly, we've served our clients to the best of our ability, and we've withstood the test of time. We are a locally owned company with a strong and growing presence in Lafayette. We intend on remaining locally owned, and to that end, we have a robust perpetuation and growth plan, which will require the addition of many new talented local individuals for years to come. So as an active part of our community, we rely on the Lafayette Parish school system to provide quality graduates who can be retained for employment in our own city versus seeking employment elsewhere. We want to be an integral part of that success and are committed to working harder than anyone else to bring the Lafayette Parish school system the insurance solutions they deserve. I ask all of you to reflect on what you've heard tonight and allow us the opportunity to bring our 74 years of experience and commitment to the table in representing the insurance needs of the Lafayette Parish school system. We will not let you down. Myself, my family, and our entire staff stand behind our pledge to the Lafayette community and all of its clients. Thank you again for your time and for the opportunity to stand before all of you here tonight.
Any questions? Mr. Centeni?
He already answered one of them.
Can you direct who it might be to?
Cobra and Flex administration fees, who pays those?
So we had a few questions about the actual fees, the amounts, and the actual ability to pay those fees with commissions. So the Department of Insurance has issued numerous advisory letters stating that paying any COBRA administration fees with commissions would be rebating or a violation of the Fair Trade Act. So, upon the advice of counsel, we basically put in the RFP that if we get, the DOI to sign off on it and, counsel, and we have some idea of what it'll cost or what we're covering with it, then we'd be happy to.
So, I want to make sure I understand what you're saying. So, your attorney said you're not allowed to pay for the
The
administration
commissioner of
fees?
the Department of Insurance, Jim Donlin, has written 2 advisory letters along these lines, specifically stating that COBRA administration fees cannot be paid with commissions. So it's gray, it's never been enforced. I've met with Donlin myself to discuss it. I believe that this can be considered and will be considered part of the job, the scope of work, if it's just dental and vision, which it may be. But we as an organization would like some sort of feedback from the Department of Insurance before moving forward with that.
So
I
does
think that's where our attorney was comfortable.
Yeah, we just need Donald's blessing.
So your proposal, it states that we're actually going to pay the administration fees
No, it
right
does
now?
not. It says that we will,
Okay. And what if they don't give that approval?
so as an organization, we're not going to blatantly violate the law.
Well, that's good. That's good. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Any other questions?
I have a quick question.
Yes, sir.
On
Mr.
the,
Nancy.
on this brochure, below each name and picture, there's a district. Is that the district each person resides in?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Very
Well-
effective, by the way. I mean, it's very effective to show us that you're local, your neighbors,
Yes, sir.
you're our voters.
Yes, sir.
So I applaud you on that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, we'll take about a 5-minute break, and then we'll have the final presentation.
Come on now. Come on now.
So your stuff is right there if you need to pull it out. I'm not gonna get in there. I'm not gonna get in there. I just think everybody, I think you say make us introduce our Lafayette team. And just say how long you can say your name. And I've got a slide. I think so. I'm going to show. I've got a slide in there. I think you do the slide, and I think that that's one that's in your slide. Yeah. You can talk like that. We got plenty of both those. I think even these guys. Did you give them presentations, these two?
Yes, you did. Brings me some life for dreams. Life for dreams. You know, I remember that. That is always the principal there, and you were correct. Thank you, ma'am. They might all walk out of the room. You can't see? No, no, no. We can do that.
Yes.
I can argue with him. So, he called you after I told him no, he didn't have this one. There's no procedure, that's all. There's one now. There's one And how am I supposed to receive information on the subcommittee training?
Okay, we will consider our meeting reactivated, if you will. And at this point, I'd recognize the final presenters, educational benefits. The floor is yours.
I don't see anything yet. One of you go down there and get him. Good evening. First of all, thank you, members of the board, members of the Employee Insurance Advisory Committee. Thank you for allowing us to come and visit with you tonight. This is not the first time that we've been here. I think one big difference is that we have 20 minutes instead of 6 minutes. That's a good thing, right? I had somebody ask me, did you have to make a lot of changes to your presentation? And I said, no, I just get to spend 20 minutes instead of six minutes to get it out. The other thing that I changed with the presentation is that instead of talking about what we can do, now I can talk about what we have done, what we continue to do, and then a look into the future of the extra services that we can wrap around what we do. My name is Shane Pennington. I serve as the Regional Sales Executive for Educational Benefits. John Starling is one of our owners of our family of companies. I'm going to let these guys introduce themselves. Let's go ahead and do that right now. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Michelle Vincent. I live here in Lafayette all my life. Worked for EBI for 21 years. I am the benefit consultant, and I local here in Lafayette. I also was part of the enrollment process during open enrollment, where I visited different schools, and I came here and enrolled employees. So we are available to everybody anytime, local office. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Nicole Vincent, and I am a part of this team as an HR expert, HRIS expert. I've had 10 years of background. I've worked with numerous big companies like your ADPs, UltiPros out there, and all their different benefit platforms. And this group has brought a different scenario to the picture in terms of benefits, and it's been a great experience for me to be a part of your team on the back end where you're not really seeing, but I'm here to provide any type of HR expert experience to you and or benefits on the HRIS platform side of things if you have any questions. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Kelly Cox, and I live here in Lafayette and am an owner and run the office here in Lafayette, an 84 graduate of Lafayette High. Got a lot of roots in Lafayette and in the school system, and so we know what it means to take care of the school district, because we've had, in my family, we've had teachers and administrators, and a lot of my friends are still in the business. So we're here, we've been here. This is going on my 30th year in the business, handling employee benefits all across the spectrum and in the TPA business. So the three that you've met here and Skip are our local office. And Skip.
Thank you, Kelly. Good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for the opportunity to serve your district. I'm born and raised Opelousas, Louisiana. Reside now between the towns of Caring Crow and Sunset. Live 1 mile north of the Lafayette Parish line. It's been a privilege and an honor for me to service local school systems in Louisiana for the past 35 years, specifically with voluntary benefits. And I assist EDI in the setup work in this school district, transitioning from what we had before to where we are now, visiting with principals and secretaries to make sure that the enrollment was handled in the manner that it needed to be handled in last fall. So again, thank you for the opportunity.
I'm not sure so if this doesn't play, I think everybody that needs to have the presentation, you do have that in front of you. Do have a picture here of our Lafayette office where these guys are. There's a lot of talk about the local presence, and to have these guys here, they've done an excellent job in supporting what we try to do, and that's service your employees of the school system. Michelle didn't talk about it a lot, but her office, what she's there for is if you have anyone that needs to come over and sit down in a private place. What Skip didn't tell you is that he has answered several calls where he has come to the school district, whether that be a school or another location, to work with folks on their needs. I'm flipping to the page now that has our EBI service model. You'll recognize some of the folks on there. I can tell you that the folks that are listed, the services team leaders, those are the people that work behind the scenes that you don't see a lot of. They have teams behind them. Everyone from Kim Tidwell, who's our director of EBI, she did make a couple of trips down and help us as we were working through logistics of that first open enrollment, because we were in such a time crunch, and plus she's so much smarter than I am when it comes to those things. So I'm not going to go through all those. Just know that that is the team that has been touching the Lafayette Parish school system, your employee benefits, and servicing them for the past 9 months. Moving on to the next page, employee education and communication is something that we do pride ourselves on. I've heard the other presentations, and I know that after a while they all start sounding the same. So instead of telling you what we can do, I will tell you what we have done. Group employee meetings, we have our new hire meetings are already scheduled. Those are in early August, where we will be sending a team here to sit down one-on-one with your employees to make sure that they understand your benefits or their benefits. We do use custom benefit guides. You should have those in your packet. It's the small brochure, very concise. Yeah, that may be a good idea. It looks like this. This is customized. This is something that we got great feedback from your employees on. I think the previous broker had something that looked much more like a book This was very detailed but concise, so they were able to get the information quickly. What we do with this is we send it to your employees a week to 2 weeks before we show up for open enrollment. And we encourage them to go ahead and speak with spouse, significant other, if it's a young employee, to talk to their parents so that they understand what's in here, so that when we do come and sit down, they have some knowledge about the benefits. They kind of have an idea of what they want to purchase for coverage. The custom web portal, we've already built that for you. It's up and it's running. We continue to add information to it. We've now added a retiree packet that's out there where retirees, as they're going into retirement, they can go get all that information. They also have, obviously, your on-site insurance team. I know that Trish and those guys take care of a lot of that communication, but we put it out there on that web portal. Email blast. I can't remember how many we sent out, but there were a lot of emails that were sent out to communicate to employees when we would be at their location, that kind of thing. As far as the surveys, I'm going to hit that a little bit later, but one thing that I do want to point out is that our survey that we did this last year was specifically for employee satisfaction on how that enrollment went. Obviously, having a short time frame to get prepared, we wanted that feedback. We wanted to know how they felt like our enrollment went. I'll go over the specifics of that here in just a minute, but one thing that I do want you to hear is that our surveys are customizable. So if the school board needed to send out something, if they wanted information, if the insurance committee, advisory committee wanted to do something, if the internal insurance department wanted to send out a survey, we build those, we customize those for whatever those needs may be. We also did an open enrollment video. I'm going to show you a piece of that because it's probably 2.5, 3 minutes, and I don't want to go any further into our time. The next page is just some clips of the employee benefit guide. The next page is the employee portal. That was customized specifically for your school system. So it has your benefits, it has claim forms, it has certificates, it has comparison between the dental plans and that kind of thing out there. I will tell you this, that this was something that we didn't educate the employees on during the first enrollment because it wasn't built yet. So this got finalized probably, I guess it was probably the first month after we finished the open enrollment. So this year when we do the open enrollment, it'll be something that we place a lot of focus on for sure. The next slide, you're going to see a picture there. I guess there's no way that I can show you the video because we're not able to. Just know that picture was not designed to show you a picture of me. There is actually a video there that we used last year. I would like to show you because we do all of this inside internal. What's that? Do you have? How do I do it? There it is. There it is. Okay. Good deal. Let me get there real quick, and we'll try this. Hello, my name is Shane Pennington, and on behalf of the Lafayette Parish School Board and Educational Benefits, your new benefits administrator, we'd like to welcome you to your 2019 Benefits Open Enrollment. This year, your enrollment period will run from October 22nd through December 14th. This is a time for you to add, renew, or change your benefit coverages. During your enrollment, you'll have the opportunity to meet one-on-one with a representative from Educational Benefits. They will consult with you one-on-one to help you make informed decisions about your benefit coverage. For those of you who miss your one-on-one enrollment, you'll still have an opportunity to meet with someone. You can call in to our benefits call center where one of our benefits professionals will enroll you over the phone and answer any questions you may have regarding your benefit options. This year, we've made several enhancements. So you get the picture there. So I will tell you again, that was done internally. Our internal marketing department does all of our video, so we don't have to hire that out. And I'll use that to make another point. We are an independent, full-service broker. We don't like to go outside the walls of our company. And John will share a little bit more about that in a little bit, but we do everything internal as we possibly can. So moving on to the employee satisfaction survey, for those of you on the board, for those of you with the advisory committee, you know that this is something that I've been wanting to talk about, and I have talked about our surveys. Our survey, our first survey that we did, we got a 99.5 favorable response from your employees. And I think that that's what we need to hang our hat on. How are your employees responding to the service that they got? I wish that I would have brought some of the comments, but I can tell you from experience, we had some of your employees that asked if it would be okay if they gave our benefit consultants a hug, because no one had ever spent that much time with your employees to do their benefit enrollment. We had people that had never been told that their coverages had wellness benefits. We had people that we helped get $600 on wellness claims that they hadn't gotten. I think Mona actually got maybe $300 because no one had ever told her that she had a wellness plan as part of her benefits. So I tell you that because we take interest in your employees, that they get everything that's possible out of the benefits that we bring. Moving on, our carrier partners and product selection. There are a lot of folks out there that call themselves a broker, but they have maybe their one or two carriers. And if you look across their portfolio, the business that they have, you'll find the exact same benefits across all, well, I won't say all, but most all of them. Okay? Now, if you've got a plan that works best in schools, that's okay, but you want to look at that. So we pride ourselves in the relationships that we have with multiple carriers. I'll have to ask John here, because I know that for some of the carriers that we work with, we have a national presence. Do you want to share just real quick about?
So some of the carriers that we work with, we are the third, fourth, fifth largest carrier in the nation with them. And you know, the thing is we don't want to put all our eggs in one basket, because if you do, just like if you outsource too much, one of these carriers may not stand up to what they said they were going to do. We always want to have plenty of them in the background, and we want to spread the risk out. But when there are specific products that are very specific to a very limited number of carriers, then we have to put the products with them, because they offer the best product in most every situation. With those carriers, we're in the top 10% as far as product lineups. You know, you look at our carriers, whether there's Lincoln, One America, Reliant Standard, US Able, Trustmark. We go down the list, there are so many carriers that we work with, and they all know that we're going to keep them honest, because if they don't do what they say they're going to do, we have 5 other carriers in the background that are ready, willing, and able to take over those benefits. And so what we do is we give them all a very fair shot every year to try to sharpen up their pencil, give us better pricing, look at the claims, look at the premiums, enhance benefits, all the things like that that we can do to improve the benefits to the actual employees themselves.
So what we do there is we do a complete product analysis, and I'll show you what one of those looks like. The other thing that we did for Lafayette Parish School System is we brought in guaranteed issue products. And not only did we bring in guaranteed issue products for 1 year, we got multi-year guaranteed issue products. Some of them are perpetual. I can tell you specifically.
Let me say one thing about that before he goes into it. Without saying any names specifically, what I would like to say is this. There are a lot of employees that could not get specific benefits in the past. The reason that we offer it on a guarantee issue basis is so that everybody gets to participate. In some cases, even though you're going through cancer like my father did, he still could get the cancer policy. He would just have to wait for 12 months before that policy would actually go into force. But he actually got it, when in a lot of cases he couldn't get it before. Our critical illness policy goes into effect, and there's no pre-X on it. So these are things that the employees benefit from that in a lot of cases they couldn't if you didn't do large volume with voluntary products.
Yeah, I can tell you that the cancer carrier that we brought in was able to help out quite a few folks, and it's not only your employees, it's employee spouses, it's children that are currently receiving treatment. We had people that had spouses that were undergoing treatment, and yes, they have to wait their 12 months, but at the end of that 12 months, that carrier is going to pick that up. Anyone that had an existing cancer policy, they were immediately able to turn those claims over to the carrier that we chose for Lafayette Parish School System. What I will say is that even though we do this deep dive and do this product analysis, it's always the school system that will make the final decision on the products that we offer. So that was a process that, because of time that I went through with Mona to sit down, we didn't change all of those. We wanted to minimize change, so we did not wipe the slate clean with products. We wanted to keep the things in here that we knew we probably shouldn't mess with in that first year. So,
and one thing I'd like to say, and Ms. Mount, you brought it up, is if we could, doing surveys. We did the surveys on the front end to see how everybody thought about the enrollment. And I think everybody needs to put this in perspective. I believe we were awarded and found out about the contract sometime in late September. I'm not sure exactly what the date was. And we enrolled this in October 22nd. That kind of turnaround on a 4,200 employee group where we built out the Ben admin system. If we outsourced the build out of the Ben admin system, I don't think that would have been able to have occurred in such a short time frame. Going to the carriers because we already had the relationships, getting the offers that we did, those things are a simple factor of doing everything in one place, having one-stop shop for everything.
the last thing there, I'm not going to hit in detail. I'm going to let John do that on the back end. But also, while we're talking about partners, we also work with several of the associations in the school systems here in Louisiana, and we have just joined in partnership with the Louisiana Association of School Superintendents. We'll be offering some products through that organization, specifically social media monitoring, that we have been given approval to offer out to your parents so that they can get notifications when things are going on with their kids' social media. So I'll move on. This next slide does show one of our product analysis. This is for an accident plan. 6 carriers is what we looked at for accident alone. So we didn't just have 1 or 2 carriers that were typically our go-tos that we say, oh, well, they got the last one, we're going to give this one the next one. We said, okay, we're lining them up. Here's the 6 best that we know of. Let's line them up and look at them. This is just a listing of some of the partners or carriers that we work with. I am going to speed this up. Our technology is second to none. Again, we build out all of our Ben admin systems internally in our office. As far as the enrollment experience, this year we only offered a one-on-one. We've been working with the internal insurance department. They have voiced an interest in doing self-service enrollment. Our technology will allow us to do that with no problems. I can tell you that in the survey, one of the things that we asked was, are you interested in a self-service enrollment, or would you prefer to do a one-on-one enrollment? And overwhelmingly, I think 82% said that they would prefer to have the one-on-one enrollment. So your people were really wanting some of that service, some of that touch, and that's what we were able to provide.
No, I think that's exactly right. And I think that the other part of it is when you look at from a technology standpoint, so we have over 100,000 lives on technology platforms. We license the platforms because we don't want to own our own proprietary software that may become outdated or it's just too expensive for us to manage. But what we do is we build out on all these licenses in-house. And what that does is that allows us to build out and get a school district like yours to where it's ready to go. When you think about it, we build out on the system. We're a TPA. We do self-funded health insurance in-house. We do COBRA in-house. We do Flex in-house, HSA. We do bill reconciliation in-house. By having that platform, it allows us to offer our platform, which is an all-inclusive platform that allows us to do bill reconciliation in-house by our own billing department. It allows us to do the COBRA in-house. We are a COBRA service provider. It allows us to do Flex in-house with our own system. So when you tie all of the things we do, they are tied to the technology platform that we do in-house because we did outsource it. And what happened was they all lied to us and they didn't do what they said. I'm a control freak. If something goes wrong, it's on me. If it's on me, I want to control it. So I think the one thing about it is rather than putting Mona, Trish, or anybody on the spot, I think talk to your business managers. Talk to the people in the insurance department. Ask them how we've done. That's going to be the best reference there ever is. How have we done? Not what are we going to do, but how have we done?
So John touched on a couple of things there. The one thing that I would say on this slide, payroll integration, we fully integrated with the Alio system in the first month of billing, and that was up and running. We have our own internal billing solutions team that has held the hand of your internal folks from day one. So as far as the reconciliation, those things, that's exactly what we're doing. We're working through discrepancies, which I've heard some of the others mention tonight. One thing that I'll say here at the bottom note, single platform for health and voluntary benefits. I just want to say, we know that you're happy with your consultant right now on your health insurance. We heard that loud and clear the first time through this. So we don't have any interest in coming in and taking that over, although we are capable of taking on both of those. Our technology would allow us to do that. So what I'm saying there, we could do the health and the employee benefits. We can offer we've actually talked about doing the enrollment to help out in that process.
Yeah, I think the reality is that we're a commercial broker in a separate sister company. We do commercial insurance. We do large employers that we put on our bin admin systems, and we enroll health, dental, vision, cancer, COBRA, 1095 reporting, everything in one place. But what we do is we listen to your school district, and you tell us what you want us to do. The health insurance, if you're happy with the broker that you have right now on your health insurance, that's fine. We can still do it. Voluntary benefits is a whole different animal. If you want us to help on the health insurance, we'll do some. We'll do whatever you want us to do, but we're going to listen to you and to your committee, and y'all tell us what you want us to do.
Moving on, just real quick, something that I have gotten feedback from multiple outlets is on our service. We do provide a single point of contact, one phone number for all benefits, excluding health insurance. So your employees have gotten familiar with that. In future enrollments, we will continue to educate them on this one number where they can call and they can get claim forms. Actually, our internal team will help them fill out their claims. If they need a dental card replacement, Skip called me the other day and said, I've got to give you some feedback. Had an employee call me from Lafayette Parish, and they had lost their dental card. And I called Miss Kathy. I talked to Miss Kathy on the service center line, and in 2 minutes, she had already emailed that new dental card. So we are there for your employees for sure. Finally, I'm going to turn this over to John now. I know that we're short on time, but this is very important because these are the things where as an independent broker where we can go, and I think it's important that you understand this, and I'm going to remind him to hit on the things that you feel like are probably most important to these guys.
Perfect. So in-house, so we obtained a TCC code back in 2014-15. What that means is we have the ability to electronically file 1095s or 1094s on behalf of our employer groups. That means that we can manage 1095, 1094 in-house. I think you currently do it through Alio. If it works great, we don't want to touch it. But if it's something that we need to help on, we do that in-house. Because we're a self-funded TPA, we do self-funded health insurance. We already had to do those in-house. So it's a natural progression for us to assist our clients all the way across the board. Employee onboarding, applicant tracking. I think y'all have an applicant tracking tool right now. I don't think you have employee onboarding. I'm not sure. But ultimately what that means is we can eliminate to where somebody posts on an applicant board. Once they post, we capture the information to where we can actually walk them through the onboarding process if you select them. To where we can build into that onboarding tool to where we can do background checks, which we need for our school, a lot of our school employees. We can do drug tests. We can do all kinds of tests in the onboarding system. We can work with your employee handbook and have that signature page in the on the onboarding process. All of that onboards and feeds to the payroll system. But these are just things that we do for commercial employers and that we're starting to see schools become interested, because what we know is the HR department and insurance department have done nothing but shrink. And the responsibilities have done nothing but go up. So if we can do something to try to take some of that off of your employees' plate to let them have a better life balance, that's what we want to do. You know, the other thing is financial health. We have a financial well-being system program in place. We've got it in 3 schools right now. Be more than happy to talk to y'all about that if that's something that y'all want to look at. We also do the 457, 403B. If that's something that y'all want to look at, we definitely can talk about it. But at the same time, if you like what you have, we're more than happy. Y'all keep it. And if we can assist in any way helping employees enroll on that with your current vendor, we're absolutely happy to do that too. The last thing is when you look at it from the retirees, what we know is that the retirees, we could offer retiree, and we're currently negotiating with the schools to look at offering retirees products outside they're no longer actively enrolled, so a lot of times they can't participate in the current products that are being offered to school employees. But that doesn't mean that they aren't interested in something if it was easier to get. If you exclude me for every reason, or you don't even make it available to me, I can't even consider it. So what we're doing right now is trying to look at whether we can offer a home health care product that maybe it's more competitive than the current long-term care benefit. Maybe we can offer a life insurance policy that has a long-term care component to it that I currently pay for my mother-in-law because it makes sense. But if I can offer that to employees that can't currently get it, that's just an added benefit that we would love to offer. I need the retirees' input to know what it is that y'all want. And I think that's one of the things is when we have a partnership, so our partnership goes deep. That's my partner owner. So our partnership is we want to be a partner with your school district. I think we showed that when we came in and we took over in September and enrolled in October, and we got a 99.5% satisfaction rate. That's pretty I'm very proud of that. And that being said, we want to continue to be a partner, but we want to offer other options that are out there for you. We'd like to leave Lynn in the health insurance plan, let him continue to do it. We are 100% good letting them do the health insurance, but what if we could offer a specialty drug program that we have an exclusive right to, that we partnered with the Louisiana School Superintendent Association, to where we can try to capture some of the rebates and some of the costs that are associated with the specialty drug program. I'd love to have that conversation. I'd love to have that conversation with your current health broker. And it's something that we are not doing anything other than trying to look at different options to where we could save your employees money. That's what we do. When you look at our identity theft, social media monitoring, we're looking for bullying. We're looking for social media active shooter, things out there. These are things that are important to the school districts. When we know Lafayette, it's very hard for us to try to corral all the school districts. So what can we do? What steps can we take to try to improve that? These are the things we look at. And we would love to go into detail with y'all about all the different things that we offer. I'm sorry. I get very excited.
I didn't know how long I was going to be able to hold him up. I'm not even going to go through the recap. I think that we've hit everything. I think we're open for questions. Sorry that we went a little bit over our time.
Let me just make I'll entertain questions. I just want to make a couple of comments. Having graduated exactly 20 years before you, Mr. Cox, from Karen Crow High School, I appreciate what y'all said about retiree benefits. I think that's a good thing. And I don't participate, so I'm not personally involved, but I think it's a good thing. I also want to mention that you guys went over your time, but so did the other two. So it's okay. Okay, at this point, I'll open the floor for any questions. Yes, ma'am, Ms. Mounts.
Two questions. One, data security.
So, okay. So I would love to.
Would you repeat the question?
So the question, I'll say it is, she's asking, what about data security? Can you go into detail of that? And my answer is, I'm not the most technical individual, but I do know what I've read in our handout, and I also know what our IT requirements are in our office. So I do know that it's SASE 16. So I believe that's the latest and greatest. I also know that we require dual authentication, because I have to suffer through this myself. Everything we do, every single employee is in the Microsoft server. So everything that we do goes to the same background and technology support that the Department of Defense, I think, currently uses. So any emails that are inside of our system are always secure. And when we send out any information that has any possible HIPAA information, we're going to send it in a secure email.
And second question, in your brochure for 2019, did I miss long-term care, or is that not being offered? I may have missed it.
Well, long-term care was one of those, if you'll remember, we didn't touch that. But then as I shared with the advisory committee, that product is no longer, it's off the shelves. It can there is no long-term care offering right now. That's what John was referring to, that we're talking to carriers that may allow us not only to offer, well, we're already offering some of those products to the active employees, life insurance that has long-term care attached to it. What he's talking about, though, we want to be able to offer that to the existing retirees.
My question is for active employees.
Yes.
You're offering life insurance that also includes long-term care.
We're offering multiple life insurances. One of them has long-term care. Yes.
And which one is that?
We call it the Universal Life Advance through Trustmark.
Trustmark.
And Ms. Mounts, I think one of the things is, I did try to contact you about long-term care. The timing, and completely in her defense, the timing was close to the RFP and it wasn't appropriate for us to talk. But that was one of the things I wanted to talk about. What options do y'all want, and what can employees afford, and what do I need to go out and try to find?
And y'all, whoever gets this contract, hopefully will be at our meeting and discuss this.
Absolutely. Ma'am.
I have two questions. Who currently pays the COBRA benefits? Like,
Thanks for the conversation.
So, are you saying who pays? Are you saying who pays for the COBRA service that is
like
provided?
kind of like the question Mr. Centini asked.
Okay. So
I'll tell you my question. Who pays the COBRA and flex spending administration fees?
Okay. I didn't know if you meant the COBRA premium or if you're exactly
I know
what
that
it
employees
was.
with like his
I apologize. Okay. So as far as right now, what happens is it's part of our whole internal package. So everything is tied into our system to where COBRA and Flex, everything is built into our system because technologically it flows. Now, I will say this. If this is something that is in violation of an insurance department regulation, we will cease immediately. But I will tell you this. Every other school in the state of Louisiana will probably have to do the same thing. Because this has been, but the way that it's always been does not mean that it's right. But that has always been the way that it has been done in the schools that we are in. And I think, Kevin can back me up on this. This is what happens in schools. It's part of our platform. But at the same time, because of this and what I've heard today, I'm a recovering attorney. So I don't practice anymore, but I am going to do my research. And if I need to, I'll get an opinion from our attorney that's up there that make sure that everything's compliant. I think there's an exception, but I want to make sure.
Can I have one more question?
Yes, ma'am.
How many employees do you have in your Lafayette office?
So in the Lafayette office, we have 4 employees. Well, and Skip technically is 1 mile across so he comes into the office, but these 3 actually reside they're in the office all 24/7 or whatever.
We're always there. We stay there all the time.
You must be careful of the fair labor standards.
I'm going to retract that second also.
Any other questions? Yes, sir, Mr. Centini.
First of all, I want to congratulate you guys for the excellent response rate on your survey. You should be proud of that.
Thank you.
Because I don't think that was necessarily the situation 10 months ago. That said, I'm counting 19. I'm going to follow up on the young lady's question here. I count 19 people that help enroll our employees, and you said you have 3 in the Lafayette office. Who are the other?
So we have, and we were trying to count up true and people that in benefits counselors that enroll all the time. That is all they do. They're dedicated to that W-2. We have roughly 30 of W-2 enrollers. Most of those reside in Arkansas, where our office is, where the Rural office is. Now, those enrollers, some of which have been enrolling in school districts for 20 plus years now, what we didn't want to do, knowing the time frame that we were under, and also knowing what we understood was the problem before, is we were not going to go and hire contract enrollers or somebody that was not under our direct control that we know would not do a fair service to your employees. And so we brought in our 18, and I'm probably just talking about, so we brought in some of our best enrollers,
that we know, that we trust, that will do the right thing and treat the employees right. If you look Tina Craig on that list, she was the head enroller. She was one that managed those groups. The reason that she enrolled so many more people is because she stayed overtime. She might have enrolled somebody on the weekend. She probably stayed late. She came in early. And she was here for 6 weeks. I mean, our thing was we didn't want to have anybody that we weren't comfortable with to do it. Our intent is absolutely we want the enrollers to reside in the state and where they are. That is our intent.
That was my next question, was they came here, or was this mostly over the phone?
They all came here.
So all of these are face-to-face?
That's right.
Okay.
So just from a financial standpoint, from a business standpoint, we want enrollers here. Because that, we're housing these employees, we're bringing them down here, we're doing that. It makes financial sense, not to mention the fact everybody likes to be enrolled with somebody that's from where they are. We get it. But, it was short notice, and it was a good thing we had that many enrollers in the house. I guess it.
All right. I'm going to ask a question that came up in the other proposal. What is your 2019 revenue? You seem to be probably the only people that know the answer to this question.
So, I'm going to ballpark you at somewhere.
Not your entire company, just from our point.
Above the line, so.
Are you total revenue was somewhere between $600,000 and $800,000.
And feel free to tell me that you'll tell me after the meeting when the microphone is not on. What do you anticipate your profit margin being on that $600,000?
Probably not great, but it's probably this. I don't know. I'll have to go back and look at it.
To you?
Well, not great to me is that we might have made a little bit of money or be close to breaking even. We hadn't had a chance to haul all the expenses and everything that's come out. But when you think about it, is our enrollers, like you said, they're salaried enrollers, so they're not out there selling a bunch of products to everybody that's involved in there. We'll be more than happy to show you the participation and look at it from that standpoint. I'm not in a position to really tell you what the profit margin is.
If I gave you a couple of weeks, would you be in a position?
Probably.
It dawned on me as I read the RFP and as I sat here listening to the proposals that we actually have no idea how much the contract is worth.
Got it.
We have no idea.
Well, I'll be honest with you. There's
nothing in the RFP about cost.
I can completely agree. And I mean, the thing is Kevin told me, Taylor & Sons knows, the thing about it is there's a reason there's not that many people in this industry. And that one of our biggest competitors is tied to an insurance company. Because they may lose money or break even on the enrollment part, but they make money on their insurance products. And I mean, I'm just bluntly honest, because what they were saying, which is valid, is that if we don't have health insurance revenue, this is going to be a really tough go for us to be profitable. The difference, I think, the big thing, the winner for us, is that we do everything in-house. So we are absolutely as high as we can be from the standpoint of keeping our expenses low.
Okay, and then my final question, I'm glad you mentioned do everything in-house. Because a year ago, I can't tell you how many different company names I heard, and you guys are owned by this, and you own this, and our sister companies with this, and co-subsidiaries, and all this other stuff. Can you explain to me, so you do everything in-house? Yes. Your call center's in-house? Yes. Your enrollers are in-house? Yes. You contract out with a benefits administration platform? You build your own within the platform.
So put it this way, they give us a chassis of the automobile.
I'm a software developer.
And then we build it out.
Down for me.
Okay, I'm sorry, well, I have to dumb it down for me.
Okay.
They give us a license, the empty slate, and we build all the rules, all the products, all the payroll, deduction files, the actual recurring pay cycles, pay codes, all that stuff. Okay. So we build all of the details to the system itself, the platform.
And is EBI a subsidiary of another company?
So no, EBI is not. EBI, I'm the common denominator. So as an attorney, I started out by separating my risk with different companies, but what we know is this, we really have to get it simple. EBI is educational benefits that handles schools. There may be other entities that had done schools in other states. We're rolling everything under one entity for schools, but then you also got your administrative company that does the bill reconciliation, TPA services and all that. That has to be, typically keep those separate. But the ownership on those, it comes back here. So
What's the name of the bill reconciliation?
So you've got Acuity and then you've got EBI, are pretty much the two companies that do all of the work between in here.
Are there any other companies?
Well, there are. I mean, Trudon is the Ben admin company that we have that builds out our benefit admin systems, but it's owned by the ownership of the company.
Okay.
Show me why Trudon is considered its own entity because you are.
Yeah, but we build out for other brokers. So we had to separate Trudon as a separate company because for other brokers that don't do benefit admin systems, I mean, it's a common occurrence because it's very tricky business. We build out for them. Well, they want
So
not.
Trudon is not the people granting you the license?
No, Trudon is a company we own that we build out the systems on.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, I know this is getting really confusing, but.
I'm kind of halfway following. That's all right. That's all right. No, I'll stop there. I'm not going to waste anybody's time. I appreciate you guys coming in and just in the future, you may not want to say on public television that your risk manager doesn't necessarily understand all the benefits she's eligible for.
Do we have any other questions? Remember, yes, ma'am. Mom?
Two. I'd like to know what your highest commission rate was on any of the products you offered in the school system last year. Was it 60%, 50%, 80%?
No, I would say, if you look at it, typically, we have the ability to choose.
I just need a number.
Well, I don't really know exactly. I would tell you that it's going to be the life insurance product. And what we see typically is the life insurance products are anywhere between 80 and 100%. Okay? First year commission. But then after that, there's very little, if any, commission that comes. So you can either choose to do that. So like, you look at every life insurance, or pretty much every life insurance policy, they all pay about the same. The problem is after the first year, it goes down. So we try to blend in. So we try to blend in level commission so that we don't get into the mix of a lot of times you'll see people that they'll come in, they'll do it, and then all of a sudden the second year they can't afford to provide the services they're affording because their revenue fell off dramatically.
The second question is, you just said, if I understood you correctly, that without the health component, it was going to be tough going. Is your intent to envelop yourself in health insurance?
No, ma'am, that's not what I meant, if that's what it came off as. What I was saying was, in most cases, brokers don't want to just do the voluntary benefits because I make as much on the health insurance a lot of times as I make on the voluntary benefits. So if I don't have the health, I'm cutting my revenue in half. And that's I'm just making a factor. I'll tell you, it's one of those things, I'm an open book. I'll tell you everything there is. If you have questions, I'll try to answer it as honestly as I can. And if I didn't, I'll come back and try to fix it. Yes, ma'am.
Where's your revenue coming from when you get to self-funded?
So the self-funded plan, and I'm not familiar with what you currently get, but typically what we see is you're going to have either a fee, which is a flat annual fee. You get $80,000 to manage the benefits on your plan. So what they're doing is they're going through the process of deductibles and premiums and things. Or you build in what's called a PEPM fee. That's a per employee per month fee. So every employee that participates on the plan, you pay $10 or $8 or whatever it is. But all of that has to be fully disclosed on a self-funded plan. I don't know what y'all do, but y'all are doing one of those. I mean, Lynn's been doing this long enough. It's something like that. Yeah, okay.
I have one more.
Yes, ma'am.
It says a JTS company, financial company. What is that or who is that?
I'm JTS.
Okay.
So we're trying to get it to where we're simplifying this down to where it's not so confusing with what the companies are. What we've done is we've done this to where we've had silos to where now we're saying, hey, this is confusing even me. Let's get this thing to where we narrow it down. So right now what we're trying to do is collapse charters and things into where it's a very simplified process.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks to all of the companies that were here. making presentations. We appreciate it. Mr. Knizik?
Yes, and for the folks at Educational Benefits, I know I gave you quite a hard time a year ago, and I hope you appreciate that it was my job to do so. And with that, our goal over the last year or so has been to develop a process for this contract that was transparent. As Mr. Santani said, we didn't really know what type of revenue this contract was worth about a year ago. We just didn't know. We've learned a lot. All of us in this room have learned a lot about not only this contract, but how the industry works and how the fees are collected. We want competition. Obviously, tonight, this is what competition generates. It generates interest. It generates three obviously extremely qualified companies providing what sounds to be excellent services at competitive rates. And that is what we want, especially as a public entity. And for those who aren't as familiar with the process that we've gone through over the last year or so, I'm going to kind of recap that before I make a motion. One of them, the first thing is we developed a request for proposal. That process we took input from the Employee Insurance Committee, we took input from board members, staff, and the public. We advertised the draft RFP and solicited comments from the public in a full board meeting, and we did get input. We got input from employees, Employee Insurance Committee, from vendors. If there was anything that anybody didn't like about that RFP, they had an opportunity to make comments, and we made comments. I mean, we made changes. We made changes before the meeting, during the meeting, until we got to a point where the RFP was adequate enough to send out. It was not perfect. It never will be perfect. We can strive for perfection, but we will never get there. That being said, we put out an RFP. We gave public notice. We requested from the world responses. We did receive responses. As I can see it, we received at least 3 qualified responses. Now those responses were evaluated. With the RFP, there were specific objectives. There was a specific evaluation criteria with a point basis. Again, that also was part of the process to evaluate and change the RFP. So if anyone didn't like the point process, how points were assigned, the questions, we had the opportunity at one time to make those changes. When those responses were evaluated, their responses were evaluated by a 3-person committee. 1 person from the Board Insurance Committee, 1 person from the Employee Insurance Committee, and I believe the 3rd person was from staff, correct? Okay. With those evaluators, all 3 ranked EBI as their first choice. In addition, when you total up the points from all 3, EBI received the highest score total. When I looked at the objectivity, say, of each evaluator's scores, 2 evaluators scored the same company in the 2nd position. So we had 3 evaluators scoring EBI as 1, 2 evaluators scoring another company as number 2, and then 2, I'm getting confused now, but the 3rd position was the same for 2 evaluators and different for 1. So there appeared to be accuracy in the objectivity of the evaluators. With that, this insurance committee, this is a board insurance committee here. Actually, it's a 3-person committee, and just so you're aware, Mr. Latchley couldn't be here tonight. So there are 2 people on this committee here that have voting rights, essentially, to make a recommendation to the full board, me and Mr. Angel. So this committee tonight doesn't determine exactly who is going to be awarded the contract. What this committee's objective is tonight is to recommend a decision to the board for the board to act on probably at the next meeting, which will be on the 17th. That being said, with EBI receiving 3 first-place votes from 3 different evaluators and the highest score, my recommendation, Mr. Angel, is to make a motion to the full board that we affirm or go with the the evaluation committee's recommendation to award the contract to educational benefits.
I'm going to second that motion, Mr. Knesset. And you and I are the only voters.
Right.
He's an ad hoc committee member. You want us to have a formal vote, Madam Secretary? I'm sorry, I didn't understand your question.
Agenda item, as I appreciate it, required a recommendation from the Board Insurance Committee and the Employee Insurance Committee. So my question is your intention for our committee to vote after you all have voted, since Mr. Knesset has already made the motion?
I wouldn't have a problem with that. Yes, you guys have this meeting was also noticed that the employees committee was going to meet too? Yeah.
I presume there's a quorum?
Yes, sir.
I'm not a member, none of us are a member of the employee committee. I mean, the committee, you.
Welcome to meet, y'all want to vote? I mean,
Yeah, this isn't we don't have these kind of joint meetings very often, so how do you want to handle it?
It would seem logical to me that if the purpose of the Employee Insurance Advisory Committee is to advise the Board Insurance Committee, that you might want the Employee Insurance Advisory Committee to vote prior to your vote. That's just my opinion, but we will do whatever the wishes of the board are.
Well, I've already voted, so.
There you go.
But we can certainly.
if the employee committee wants to meet.
Well, we have
after
to.
the meeting,
There was a notice that said that it was a joint meeting, as I appreciate it. I don't have the agenda in front of me, but I believe that's what was noticed. So if I have a motion from someone on the Employee Insurance Committee, do I have a motion from anyone for, yes, ma'am? I can't see that. That the committee accept the evaluation, that the board to accept the evaluation from us committee's recommendation to award the contract for third-party administration and voluntary benefits for education to EBI. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed?
Thank you.
That's all the business. I'm going to declare this meeting adjourned.